Welcome back to your Fantasy Football Buddies. I'm Steven Miranda.
I'm Jeff Ellis, and it's Tuesday, August 23rd, 2011.
Today we're talking about players that are free-falling.
Fantasy Football for James is going to feature value drafting.
And since most of you may have drafts this weekend, we'll tell you players that we think are hot.
I think they're hot.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. But first up, what we have for you is guys that you might want to get out of the way so they don't hit you because they are tumbling down the charts.
Woo! Free falling. Yes, they are. They are free falling. We'll start in Miami. We're running back Daniel Thomas, Jeffrey. He's just not cutting it. He's not the player that everybody thought he was going to be. So much so that they went out and signed Larry Johnson. So we're saying,
Grandmama.
yeah, that's right. Grandmama Johnson's back in town.
Well, you know what? Also, you want to be very careful about Sidney Rice up in Seattle. It was thought that the pairing with T-Jax was going to turn out to be this great revelation, and it's been anything but that. It's been more of a nightmare up there.
Jeffrey, it's Seattle. That's where wide receivers go to die, man. I mean, I could give you plenty of examples. TJ Houshmandzadeh.
Yeah.
Deion Branch.
Okay.
Joey Galloway.
Steven.
Bobby Ingram.
Steven.
What?
Stop it.
One more. Golden Tate. Come in.
Thanks. Well, he's today, so he hasn't washed out completely yet. Cincinnati rookie wide receiver A.J. Green. Yep. He is, I was really high and excited on him at the draft. He's being drafted around 100th right now. However, he's fallen into the 4 bad things that could happen to a quarterback or into a wide receiver. 1, you're a wide receiver. 2, you're young. 3, you didn't have a season for OTAs to work with your quarterback. And then 4th, you don't even have a quarterback, really, because Andy Dalton's throwing you the ball.
That's right. And basically, we're no longer high on A.J. Green. If you should have a rookie, go look at Julio Jones of the Atlanta Falcons. But stay away from A.J. Green. He's just not – there's nobody there to throw him the ball, really.
Then, of course, I want to think about pretty much any running back named Ryan.
With the exception of Ryan Grant from the Green Bay Packers. Okay, Grant's on the bubble.
He's getting on my list.
He's on the bubble.
I want to start you thinking about Arizona's Ryan Williams. Obviously, if you've drafted him, get him out of there because he's out for the season.
That's right. Torn patella tendon. Jeffrey, there's Ryan Matthews down in San Diego who's really not impressing a lot of people right now.
Which is a shame because we liked him early on. We saw him play last season as a rookie, and he looked fantastic. And then he got hurt.
And in Washington, running back Ryan Torrain, who, because of his injury, has missed some time, and it's opened up the door for Tim Hightower, who we'll talk to players we think
very shortly. Finally, next in fantasy football for James, this guy, oh my gosh, we have got so much going on. I want to talk to you about value drafting, also known as the average draft position. What I'm talking about basically is where you take a player in the draft matters so much.
That's right. You should know about where a player is going to get drafted in your league so that you know when to take him. Obviously, an example, Jeffrey, quarterback Matt Stafford. We like him. We think you should go out and grab him, but you shouldn't grab him too early. Don't grab him in the first or second round. He's going to have a great season, but he's not first or second round material.
That's exactly the point. Let's say you think that he's going to be the best quarterback at the end of the season, so you have to have him. I respect that, and I'm fine with that. However, when he's being drafted, his draft position right now on ESPN, as I look at it, is 108th. In overall average draft position. So drafting him anywhere else before the 7th round is foolish.
That's right. In a 12-man league, the end of the 7th round is 84. So you can grab him in the 7th round and be comfortable that you're going to get the guy you want and not have to spend too much for him by getting him in the 2nd or 3rd round.
And think about the guys you could put around him that you're missing out drafting on that are available before that. That's why you need to go out. And ESPN makes it real simple. It's called Live Draft Results, and it's there on their website. And you can look up by position. You can look up all sorts of criteria to tell you exactly where these guys are going, so you have a good idea. And if you thought that Matt Stafford was going to be the guy, what you want to do is make sure you grab him maybe 84th or 85th, but make sure you get him before the 108th, before 100 comes around, because then it might be too late.
That's right.
And you can still have your cake and eat it too.
And very, very good advice there for fantasy football. For James, if you're watching, you better be watching.
I suspect his game's going to improve significantly, and his drafts are going to get better.
All right, Jeffrey, finally, players that we think are hot, caliente. Go out and get these guys. I'm going to start off with quarterback Colt McCoy. I like what I've seen from Colt McCoy to end the season last year, and so far in his three quarters of preseason play, he's thrown 4 touchdown passes. That is excellent. I like him. He's right now going about 130. You can snag him a little bit before then.
Exactly. And in that same department, thinking about value, Mark Sanchez. We don't think he's an elite top 5 quarterback. Sorry, Rex Ryan. However, we do think that at the position where he's being drafted, 120, he makes a fantastic quarterback, too, for you because he's got so many weapons out there at his disposal and a great offensive line.
Well, I'll go to wide receivers then and talk about his wide receiver, Plaxico Burress, who we like based on his performance just the other night.
In the rain.
3 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown, giving Mark Sanchez that high target that he is so desperately wanted and needed. And I think Plaxico is going to do fine. He's currently going about 193 is where he's going on most ESPN leagues. I think you can grab him a few spots before then.
Okay, I want to talk to you about Jacoby Ford while we're in the wide receiver world. And he's gained, you may go, who's Jacoby Ford? Well, unless you live out here on the West Coast, you might not know who he is. And he is one of the wide receivers for the Oakland Raiders, and he's being drafted about 130th. But guess what? The guy's got good hands, and if there's any sort of competent quarterback play there, he's going to be getting the ball.
His speed is great as well.
Oh,
looking at running backs, Jeffrey, the running back that we were talking about, traded from Arizona to Washington, Tim Hightower seems to be resurrecting his career there in Washington. He's looked great in the preseason, and right now he's going about 102 in most ESPN leagues. I think you grab him in around the 80th spot. He should be a steal for you.
Now, another guy that is a fantastic pickup, he's going 142nd, is Ben Tate, the powerful clone, if you will, of Arian Foster there in Houston Texans. And I am stunned, Stephen, when I see him take the field. This guy, he reminds me so much of Arian Foster. He's big and he's burly and he runs people over. They had both at the beginning of last season. Tate got hurt early, and that was the end of it.
Tate basically has caused his coaches to say practice is overrated because he has missed some practice. He gets on the field and just barrels over people.
Skills is what wins it out.
Then finally a tight end for you that we think is hot. Heath Miller of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's going around 131. He is solid, and he is becoming Ben Roethlisberger's security blanket. When his wide receivers are covered, he likes to throw it to his tight end.
Totally agree. We love it. That's what we have for you. This has been your Fantasy Football Buddies.
I'm Stephen Miranda.
Jeff Ellis.
Out.